guys, welcome back to my channel. We are going to chat about how to properly quit your job, be on good standing. Quitting your 9-to-5 is truly an art, and if you do it the right way, you'll set yourself up for success. If you do it the wrong way, you're gonna lose job opportunities, you're gonna leave money on the table. When you're thinking about quitting your job, I want you to strategize your exit plan. And this can take 6 months, this can take a year, this can take 3 months, but I really want you to think about it. You have to properly quit the right way so you can maximize all of your benefits. Healthcare is going to get cut off, so make sure you go see your dentist for your teeth cleaning and then go see your general doctor for your yearly exam. I work and I live in the state of California. All of my contracts were an at-will employee, meaning that at any point my employer can let me go without notice. I can let my employer go without notice as well. A 2 weeks notice for me within my industry is a nice to have, and you can still be in good standing. So a 2-week notice is what I would suggest. Giving more time has never been beneficial for me personally in my experience. When you give your employer too much time, too much notice, people on your team and people at your company will start treating you weird and not in a nice way. People will feel happiness, people will feel sadness, people will feel resentment, people will be passive aggressive because you're leaving, especially if you're leaving for a better opportunity and your colleague has to take on your workload. They are going to feel some type of way and they're just going to be really mean to you. Like 2 weeks notice is perfect. That's enough time to transition out of your position. And with all the layoffs that is happening in the sea of life, do you think any of these companies feel bad and are giving people a 2-week notice before they lay them off? They are not. There are expecting mothers out there who are losing their jobs in flight on a business trip, being locked out of things. People are being let go, dedicating themselves and their life to companies for 6 years, 8 years, and in a heartbeat, they let people go. Let's revisit telling your best friend at work and someone you love, someone you trust, your work wife. Do not do that. Do not go down that path. This is how you're gonna break your news. You are going to tell the most important person, which is either your manager, whoever you report to. That should be the first person that you break this news to. The second people that you should break this news to is if you manage anyone, they should hear it from you first. They should not hear it from other team members or gossip. You need to let them know directly. And then after that, you can announce it to the team and you can start telling your friends, because office gossip and office telephone spreads like wildfire. And when you are leaving and when you're resigning, people are already hypersensitive about this topic, whether they feel resentment against you, whether they're jealous. Another thing I want to touch on is when you are leaving your job in your last 2 weeks, I want you to take these 2 weeks and treat it as if it's your first 2 weeks of work. And I'm saying this and I'm sharing this as someone who's been in the industry for 10 years. You never know who is watching you at work, and you never know who is related to who. So for example, if you leave and you're dropping the ball and you're coming in late and you don't care, later on, maybe a year from now, maybe 6 months from now, maybe 3 months from now, you run into a similar coworker that was at your previous brand. Because that's the last image they have of you, maybe it's going to not help you get a job. So I always try to leave companies as strong as I start them, and you would be so surprised that like your friend from accounting's brother is the CEO of the new company that you are interviewing at. That I went through some rules. These are the step-by-step guide on how to quit your job and be in good standing. The first thing you want to do is put some time on your manager's calendar for 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. 15 minutes to be safe. And the subject line will be career chat, career update, catch up. If you can do this in person, this would be the best way. On the phone is a great alternative, but you want to talk to them live. And the way you start the conversation is you want to thank them for the opportunity. And you can say, you can share your most favorite projects, you can share a fun moment, thank them, and be genuine, talk from the heart. And then also let them know at this time, like you accepted a new job offer, or at this time you are resigning, you want to take a break. You don't really have to give a reason, but you just thank them, tell them that you are resigning, let them know when your final date is, and you can choose your final date, whether it's 2 weeks, whether it's a week and a half. It's really up to you. You want to already have this date in your head. Because I work and I live in the state of California, when I leave my corporate jobs, they pay me out with my paid time off. So I get that in a form of cash payment that is taxed at a different level. So you can decide if A, you want to take a vacation and use your PTO, or B, when you leave, they'll pay you out. This is totally up to you and a personal preference. I always opted for money and got paid out for my PTO. So after you had this in-person meeting with your manager or on the phone, you're going to want to send a follow-up. And this is your formal letter of resignation. You guys can Google this, and there are templates on the internet. It's super easy, but essentially it's the date, your address, a quick note. Dear HR, you want to thank everyone for the opportunity. You want to let them know that you're resigning. In your letter, you have to state your official last day, and this is for your company to cut your check. So when it is your last day on Friday or Monday, whichever you picked, they have to cut your final check for you. So it's either in a check form or it's direct deposited, and that gives the company enough time to do your separation papers. You also want to include a forwarding address. So it's important that you include a final date of whenever your last day is, and number two, a forwarding address that you will be at for like the next year and a half. You can put your parents' house somewhere where you're not moving. This is so the company can send you your W-2 at the end of the year for taxes. So they have a record of sending you all of your paperwork and your separation papers to this address. So those are two things you have to do. Save this letter in a PDF version and name it your name. 2, letter of resignation, PDF. Send it to your manager, CC HR, and then you basically summarize that meeting that you had in writing. You just want to have a peaceful exit. If it is possible, having a peaceful exit will be the best thing for you. I have seen some things in corporate, and I want to share them with you. So I was at a previous company, and if you resign and went to a competitor, you do not even get to finish out your 2 weeks. They will let you go on the spot. So just be careful that even if you do put in your 2 weeks, it's up to the company's discretion. And say your company is kind of upset and kind of petty that you're leaving them, they can say, hey, you know what, today's actually your last day. Feel free to pack up and goodbye. So you have to just be prepped for everything. And this is why you do not share your plans of leaving, not even with your best friend. The second that you announce it to the right person, aka your manager, and you send it off to HR and it is official, and you work together with your manager for a plan of announcement, I think that will be the best strategy. Before you tell the most important person, your manager, and it spreads like wildfire, I have seen people being let go from companies. So I had a colleague, she wanted to put in her 2 weeks notice. She shared it with a couple people. The company found out and ended up letting her go. Instead of her even resigning, they came to her first and was like, hey, pack your things up. We're letting you go effective today. Things are crazy, guys. I wish you guys the best. Let me know if I can help in your transition. So if you guys have any topics you want me to cover, I appreciate you for watching my content. I appreciate you guys for being here. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.